Well, I invited a few people, so we'll see how this goes. Um, First time I've done one of these, so it'll be interesting to see how this topic and discussion goes. If we can even get anybody on, I'll keep it open. How's it going? How's it going? Okay. I'm gonna see about getting my earbuds real quick so I can at least hear people's. There we go. Let me turn the Bluetooth on. And there we go. Hey Jeff, what's going on, brother? Hey Jeff, brother, you doing right?
Oh, I feel ya.
What's going on, Bubby?
Not much. Just been sick.
I get it. I just got over something, and I took today was day 5 of the Z pack, and then my wife ended up getting sick. So I get it.
No, my wife got me sick, so I've been out of the shop for like a whole week and a half now.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I've been trying to find time to get into the shop, but yesterday was my daughter's birthday, and that's more important than
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
and then today, family was still in, so I had to spend time with them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, well, I figured this would be a good start to trying to maybe do that podcast thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but you know,
What, the Onlysmiths?
yeah, a bunch of chuckleheads, but that's all
Yeah.
right.
Well, well, did you? Well, we could always start off a discussion of hammer technique and how it's personal. Each person personalizes their own version of hammer technique.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, there are certain um things that everybody should do though, just for form and just
Bare
uh
basics.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
Like
like,
you for posture and stuff.
yeah.
um and then like I come from a carpentry background, so I always want to throw my thumb right on the spine of that hammer, right?
Yeah.
And that's bad. You don't want to do that.
No, for me growing up around blacksmithing and metal fabrication, it's almost second nature. Like, I could tell you so many different techniques and styles, but they all blend in. If you blend,
Right.
if you blend them all into a similar way of working, they're all essentially the same. The only difference is some have advantages over others.
Oh, sure. I mean, but those advantages are very niche, I guess you could say. I mean, like, because they're beneficial for certain things, but not for others, and then vice
Well, there's
versa.
a few of them that are general purpose. Like, for example, the Brazil drawing out a taper technique is the most efficient and effective way to maximize your time on heat, but
Oh,
also
for sure.
using the horn, it brings out it kind of it's a stepping stone into a Brazil technique.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Like, and I've seen, and I honestly, I personally, I use an amalgamation of all the above, right? So like, I'll use the horn for drawing out, but I'll also use, this the side of the anvil, or
Yeah,
not the side, but the
the
edge of the
edges.
anvil. Yeah, but see, and as soon as I get a new anvil, I radius those edges, so like I've got like the most um obtuse, it's sitting about 3/8, and then it goes all the way to sharp, right towards
Yeah,
the
the
heel of
tail,
the horn. Yeah,
the heel, the tail.
yeah, semantics. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the style of the anvil. If it's a London pattern anvil, then it's a heel. If it's a
Right,
if it's a
double
tapered
horn.
horn,
Yeah,
then it's a tail.
yeah, you're right. But still, I mean, like people are gonna still refer to it both ways
Yeah.
often. So,
Like what I
that,
find myself doing the most is doing a rough draw out that maximizes, which is the Brazil technique of drawing
oh
out.
yeah,
But
uh-huh.
I also made a specialized swedge tool for my Hardy that optimizes it where I don't have to worry about chipping my anvil's edges because well I don't have enough practice in with the Brazil technique, but I understand the basics of it.
Right, right, right.
And
I get
instead
that.
of planishing it out on the face of the anvil, I planish it out on the horn, on the base of the horn to stretch it out even more. So
Right, right.
I find myself doing a best of basically the best of both because of the fact
Yeah.
that I'm minimizing surface contact by using the horn and also stretching out material enough to do the Brazil technique.
Right. And I'll tell you, man, it's funny because Rob Ho, I think the world of the man. I've never met him, but
Oh, he's an
I've talked
awesome
with
guy. I've
him.
met him multiple times. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
And same with Ed Brazil. And Ed is amazing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I've talked with both of them, on Facebook several times, and they're both like amazing smiths and great guys. Um, that being said, Rob is a bit of an internet troll on things like Blacksmith for Beginners.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I quite enjoy it. I mean, sometimes I think he takes it a little far, but that's not my place to say or do anything about it. I love him to death, and I, I get a kick out of it.
No,
But
I love hanging out with those guys during Quad State, but I'm not going to make it
yeah,
this year. So, but
yeah,
usually when I do go to Quad State, I try to hang out with them as much as I can, just due to the
mm,
fact that watching them work is such a learning experience, and I love
oh for
picking
sure,
Ed Brazil and Rob's brain so much it's ridiculous. Like
yeah,
last year, they actually really helped me out with working through on making scrolling tongs and all that stuff
yeah,
because coming from bladesmithing background, it's hard to transition back into blacksmithing after so many years of just making knives and not
right,
making
right,
your own tooling.
right. No, I get that. And see, I was fortunate. I mean, I've not been doing this very long, about 7.5 years now, or seven. I'm going on 7 years now. October will be that 7 year mark. Anyways, I started off as a blacksmith and a tool maker, and I and this isn't to degrade bladesmithing by any stretch of the imagination. Bladesmithing is been able to afford me the things that I want and need for my shop to help me facilitate the classes that I give, etc. That being said, though, I am a blacksmith and a tool maker that happens to make blades.
Yeah.
But I say that, and majority of what I make today is knives, but I still want to keep that identity as a blacksmith and toolmaker
Yeah.
over a bladesmith because I again, this isn't to degrade bladesmithing by any means, but that's what I enjoy the most to make. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I don't mean to interrupt you there, bud, but like for
No,
me,
you're good.
of doing this for 18 years, I started off at 10 years old.
Right.
I started off with the bare basics of making your own tools, doing all that, and then I jumped straight in the deep end of knives and did that for the longest time. And then I kind of bypassed a lot of the basic stuff, and I'm like, oh crap.
Right.
So I had to force myself to go back to basics, relearn all the basics that I jump started on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm better off for it. But
Oh, 100%.
at the same time, uh, if I remember the saying correctly, just because you're a bladesmith doesn't mean you can't still be a blacksmith. It's better to be a blacksmith than just a single bladesmith versus a bladesmith trying to be a blacksmith.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I get that. And I think both have their place, and not too many people actually cross over and do
A
both.
little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a part-time smith. Um, I went from being a full-time smith when I moved to West Virginia. On top of having my day job, I was working like 60 hours a
Yeah.
week in the shop. Um, but when my wife got pregnant with my first daughter, you know, I started cutting time out of the shop because family's more important, right?
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and I went to right at full time, about 38 to 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And then when my daughter was born, it cut to 0 to 8 hours a week.
Yeah.
Um, and that's fine. Like I don't, I'm not upset
The
about that.
most you
I'm
need,
grateful.
the most people ever do need in the shop is like a good 4 to 5 hours at minimum.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, but like for me, because I was a full time blacksmith, with minimal tooling, so it took me longer to do things.
Oh
The
yeah,
orders that
definitely. It
the
always, I don't mean to interrupt you, bud, but it
no, you're
always
good.
does take longer to, if you got the minimal amount of tooling, it's going to take you the longest, but at the same time, it's the greatest teaching tool out there because it'll teach you how to make do and become very efficient with what little you already have.
Oh, absolutely. But like that was part of my motivating, like, or the motivational driving factor to me getting bigger tools. Like, for example, and not just because of my time in the shop being cut, but you know, I, and I'm sure people are probably tired of hearing me say this, but I do these veteran classes for free and stuff like that, and because I'm a veteran myself, my dad's a veteran, a lot of my friends are vets. But that being said, so I want to provide that service to my community because I've seen what blacksmithing and bladesmithing has done for
Yeah.
veterans with PTSD and depression and whatever
Uh,
other issues they
oh
may
yeah, no, I
have.
completely understand that. I've seen what it does too, and I also seen what it does for people that are neurodivergent like myself. But
Absolutely. Oh,
it
for sure.
helps. It helps for me personally. It helps quiet everything down, and I'm just like, okay, what do I need to do? And I end up like what we were saying earlier with bladesmithing versus blacksmithing. I nowadays I just find myself making what I feel like making, and if it happens to be a
Right.
knife, it happens to be a knife. If it happens to be like a steak flipper, it's a steak flipper. I can go on and on.
Right. But like, but what I was saying, because my time in the shop got cut, and the veteran classes that I teach, I do demonstrations at these local events, and I had several veterans come up to me and ask me, hey, and they're disabled physically, they might be missing limbs, or their
Yeah,
hand might be messed up, they can't hold tongs or a hammer or whatever. So, they come up to me and they're asking, hey, do you think I could still blacksmith with this disability? And my response was, absolutely, we'll just need to make accommodations.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people don't like to hear that, and I understand that. You know, they want to try to be as independent as possible, and I respect that. But
At
you
the end
know,
of the day, you kind of have to make accommodations for certain disabilities.
right. But see, at the time, I didn't have the press, so I was like, yeah, I'll have to hold the piece for you or something like that. We'll make it work. That won't be a problem. And
Yeah.
they never showed up. Um, so after that second year of a dozen vets coming up to me, hey, I'd really like to do this, but I have this disability. um I told my wife, I said, look, I got to start investing in this press. I said, one, it's going to help my business. Two, it's going to help my classes with vets to be able to provide a better service for them. And my wife has been so supportive, dude. Like,
Oh,
I
same here with mine.
I know a lot of guys out there that their wife, oh, that's stupid, you don't want to do that, or why would you spend all that money, you're not getting anything out of it. My wife has never once, not once, even hinted at anything like that.
No.
I mean, and she's just been an angel. I mean, you know I, I make jokes and say she's a PETA, pain in the backside, whatever. But honest to God, my wife has been my my biggest support in this entire thing, and I couldn't be where I'm at today without
Yeah,
her.
same with mine. Like, yeah, my wife. I may joke around that my wife says it's hammer therapy, this or that, but when I come in from the shop, she goes, "Okay, what did you make? And
Right,
how much is it going to sell?" And she's reminded me that I'm making stuff for next year's market.
right,
Not here you go, have it, have it for free, kind of like
right.
because
Well,
sometimes you just want to make something and give it away, but you're like,
oh, I'm bad for that. Yeah.
yeah, same here. Like last year, I went through a bunch of market stock because I was doing free giveaways. I was like, oh, here you go, here you go, here you go,
Right,
and I barely made a profit from last market because of doing that.
right. No, I get it. I'm terrible for that. Or like, for example, I predominantly, like, I do vending events, but I don't do well at them because the niche or the market at these different events change from year to year, and so
Oh
what
yeah,
does well this year doesn't do well next year, or vice versa.
yeah,
And so it's unpredictable. So I do custom work, and almost strictly do custom work. It's just easier, that's a guaranteed sale. But my
yeah.
problem
But
is, though.
there is a downside to custom work. If you do take a deposit, like say a 60-40 deposit, a non-refundable 60% deposit, for example, yeah, you get that money instantly, but then you're waiting on the last 40% of that deposit to come through before finishing out or shipping.
Well, so I mean, yeah, but so, like, for me, I depend on this income a little bit, but my day job covers my bills. It covers everything for the
Yeah,
most part. So I don't need this money per se, right? So, like, I have that luxury, and not everybody does. I'm blessed. I'm thankful for my situation. Um, and that's not me, like, trying to boast or brag or anything like that. Everybody's situation is different, but
yeah.
um, I
But
like those guaranteed sales
oh
because
yeah,
I'm comfortable with that. I don't like having stock just sitting around and cluttering up the place. Like, I had a tote that was full of stuff, that was for sale, and I got tired of looking at it. I had stuff in there that I had been taking and lugging to vending events for 2 or 3 years. I just ended up just giving the stuff away.
Yeah, like for example, there's a good, the old saying, if you're good at something, you might as well make money off of it. Well,
Yeah,
let's flip that saying on to relate it to what we do. Is it's a hobby for now, but then it becomes a business. Then it turns into a self-sustaining hobby later, because when it comes to doing this with marketing and selling
yeah,
stuff and all that, you go hard and as okay, I could turn this to a business, and then you come to realize maybe keeping it as the hobby, but mixing some business aspects into it is the best, because
yeah.
people love seeing it done, but yet they at the same
They don't want
time,
to pay the price for it.
yeah, and at the same time you want to keep doing it for your own fun, but you
Yeah,
don't want to get dragged down of making the exact same thing over and over and over.
right,
Therefore, therefore a lot of people, they go towards, well, it's a hobby that sustains itself.
right. So, like for me though, this started off as a hobby. I started off at a museum, um, and then I spent 2.5 years at that museum in New Jersey, just making stock for the gift shop. Um, and I didn't get paid. It was 100% volunteer based. They provided the fuel, they provided the materials. I just made stuff.
Yeah.
And then, they had a really talented blacksmith, bladesmith, come in and teach classes from time to time at little to no cost. I mean, for example, I took a Arkansas toothpick brewery class for $75. And I mean, like that's super cheap. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, compared to most classes, that is cheaper than cheap.
Right. Especially in New Jersey, I mean, an Arkansas Bowie knife or just a knife bladesmithing class in general, that's almost $1,000.
Yeah, if you take, like, for example, if somebody took my private one-on-one blacksmithing one-on-one class, it I charge about $30 an hour for the class.
Right. Right.
So at the end of the day, after a 8 hour forging session of learning all the basics, we're going through everything in the basics.
Right.
So for somebody to get going, I will, and you get sent home with a pair of tongs that you made yourself, and also
Right. Right.
your first punch slash drift.
Right.
You're quite literally, at the end of the day, you're paying, by the time you're leaving, you're paying close to $900 to $1,000 in that class.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Um, but see, like the classes I give, they're strictly for vets. Now that being said, sometimes I have local blacksmiths be like, "Hey, Matt, you do something really cool. Can you show me how to do it?" That's different. Like I don't look at
Yeah.
those as like formal classes, and I don't charge for those either because they do the same thing for me, right?
Yeah,
So
it's called
like,
community building.
right, exactly. But as far as like people off the street, I don't do that. One, I don't have the insurance, and that's a liability to
Yeah.
do that with my business. Um, to charge for a class like that. That being said, like if I were to have somebody reach out to me and say, well, like I'm hoping I can get insurance within the next year or two, but it's just so expensive, dude.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Um, but like if somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, I want to do this Damascus class, or I really want to learn Damascus, could you teach me? I would I would charge them what I would charge for that material or for that product, and then probably another 250 dollars for that, on top of that. So like, if that's a, I don't know, let's say we, on coffee break. Oh, balls. Oh, hey Job, how you doing, brother?
Sorry about
What's
that.
going on? No, you're good. But what I was saying, like if somebody reached out and said they wanted to do a Damascus making class, and they wanted to do like feather Damascus, I mean, for a 12-inch by 3/16 by inch and a half billet, that's like $1,200.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
and
with
that's just
I
the
actually
billet.
kind of stopped doing one-on-one classes in general because the insurance was getting too damn expensive.
Yeah.
Now, if it's like if it's a colleague that already knows what they're doing, but they're like curious on why I do something in a certain way, I usually tell them just come on over, I'll show you,
Oh, I do that all the time. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And
because I already know that they're not gonna hurt themselves in any kind of way. Plus, they're not gonna turn around and be so. Let's put it as Karen esque
right.
vibe of turn around and next thing you know, you lose your whole shop.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you keep all your knowledge to yourself,
Yeah,
Job.
no. That's only because
Um,
nobody wants my knowledge.
Oh,
well,
especially when it comes to the grinders, right?
Yeah.
Gotta give you a little bit of a hard time, bud.
Oh, yeah. I do forge some.
Yeah, you do the bare minimum. What? Who said that?
Yeah.
well, now listen. I'm not gonna say anything's wrong with stock removal or bare minimum forging, because yeah,
Yeah, but
there's
you
nothing
gotta
wrong with it.
remember, I grew up around it, and I grew up around doing this stuff, and the one thing that was pounding in my head was forge to finish to the point where you barely have to go to a grinder at all.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but there's certain things that you definitely don't want to do that with, and sometimes just what's easier.
Yeah, there's a reason why when I do forge my knives, or if I do a tomahawk or hatchet here and there, which is very rarely, you'll see me overforge the bevel, my overforge my bevels and my edges, because of the fact that it's easier to clean up flashing than it is to grind into it.
Yeah, no, I get that. Oh, Joe, what's going on, brother? You doing all right?
Oh, doing just peachy.
What's
Yeah.
what's on your bench this weekend?
Oh, sawing lumber.
Oh, so hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I had a sawmill again. I miss those days.
What's on my bench is a little Damascus camp knife that it's fully finished. I just got to make a handle for it.
Yeah,
I've been,
And
I,
I didn't do your standard etching on it. I just said screw it, and I did a straight coffee etch, and everything has that beautiful blackish bluish tint to it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just I know a lot of people say, oh, you have to follow this process, but I think it depends on what you're looking for more than
Yeah,
anything.
like I hand sanded it up to a mere polish, and then I just soaked it in the acid in the coffee etch, and I still have to yet post a picture of it, but you can barely tell it's Damascus until you look at it in the light and you see those bright spots versus the dark spots, and you're like, okay, that's a cool looking patina.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of what I do, like, and so I guess it depends on what the function of the knife's for. Like, if I know somebody's gonna use it specifically, like Damascus, I'm gonna like just take it to the buffer right after. Like, I'll edge it really good so you have those
Oh yeah,
that
you had the
texture.
differentiation lines.
Yeah, you have that texture, but like, and there's that little bit of a patina, but it's not really. like you don't have like those dark lines
No,
because I
like
mean like it's gonna get scratched off in use if I know it's going to a heavy user like a chef's knife. Why like chef's knives don't need to be etched like that.
no, the most they need a chef's knife or any kind of kitchen knife in general. If it is Damascus, the most unless it's stainless, because stainless pops stupidly well.
Yeah.
But unless besides stainless, if it's your normal high carbon steels or cooking knives, why over etch it when you can actually ghost it out slightly while retaining that look of the Damascus?
Well, so what I did on that last Damascus knife, a Damascus chef's knife, I edged it pretty heavy, and then before I give it to him, I ended up buffing it, and it removed a lot of that black out of it. It was just
The
like
black
a
side?
nice patina. Yeah, yeah, it was just like a nice little patina on it,
Yeah.
instead of it. So like you could see like the 15 and 20, and then a little bit of a patina, and I thought that looked much better. Plus, with him using it as it's a high carbon steel knife. It's going to patina anyways. So I just thought the texture was gonna do better.
Yeah, like with I get what you're saying because with this one that I just did, the whole thing is basically blued, but
Right.
like the dark steel is like very dark, and then the bright steel is still darkish, but
Hmm.
different. It reflects differently.
Right.
So, you want my personal opinion on Damascus?
Absolutely.
It's a racket. It's a scam. I mean, it can be absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah, it can be beautiful for sure, but I do want to point this out. Uh, what I was taught was good Damascus, high quality Damascus. You could charge $100 an inch.
Oh yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not any higher quality blade.
No,
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 definitely not.
you're paying for the art of it.
Yeah,
Like that's it. You're
exactly.
just paying for the art of it.
I'm not
Well, you're
knocking
paying for
it.
the art of it, and also if you crunch the numbers on it too, you're also paying the riskability of it because of the fact that Damascus, if you get a good billet, good chances are only about 40% of that billet is usable.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't buy Damascus. I make my own. I don't
Get what
trust
I'm
other
getting at.
people.
You understand what I'm getting at. Most of the time, only about 40% of a billet, whether if you made it or you bought it, is about usable. That's why Damascus is so high in price.
Well, yeah. I mean, so my price for Damascus starts at $200 plus $60 an inch of blade. That's typically where my price ranges are.
I mainly stick to mono steels, but on occasion I will work with Damascus just for the fun of it because of the fact that Damascus does, if you don't work it at a certain temperature, you run delam risks, and
Yeah.
it's a fun little brain tickler to be like, okay, how would I move this material in this way to get this result
Right.
while
Well, I
retaining
mean,
a pattern or showing a pattern?
yeah. I mean, so the only reason, so okay, the only reason why I do Damascus is because I personally like forge welding. That's genuinely it. Um, and I would prefer to just do, like Sammise and Gomise 100% of the time
Oh yeah,
instead of the big billets or whatever. And I would almost always rather just do a Samurai or Gomai with a wrought iron jacket. Like wrought iron to me is just it blows any Damascus stuff, not any, but majority of the Damascus out of the water.
yeah.
If,
Like,
at least for in my opinion.
oh yeah, no, I understand that completely because have you seen wrought iron hammers with the tool faces?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm
also,
I'm
like,
I'm meaning to make one here soon. Just gotta find the
awesome.
time to do it.
Also, like, Yeah, I love working with Damascus here and there, but it's just having the time to make my signature Damascus is a pain in the butt because it's a twisted jelly roll Damascus using a couple different materials to make that billet.
Then, like, one problem I have with Damascus is like, I do make it once in a while, rarely, but
Yeah.
I don't have the clientele where I live. I mean, most of the people I focus on hunting and EDC knives.
Yeah, same here.
That's what we do up here.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
you go down to the general store in town, and during hunting season, and I can guarantee you, 80% of the people, the hunters that are stopping in, are carrying a $20 to $40 fixed blade on their side.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I tell them, I know a lot of people around here, and well, how much for a knife? Mono steel with a sheath, just out the door. It all obviously depends some, but on average, $100 to $125. Oh,
That's cheap.
it is.
That's
But they
cheap.
go, oh.
Yeah, they always go, oh. Yeah, because
I've seen guys in the woods with stupid bought at the fair that comes through, for $10, this stupid big dragon head pommel.
Yeah.
I mean, and these guys that's their, obviously these guys aren't shooting deer, but
Yeah.
but that's their, oh, look at this knife. Yeah.
yeah.
You can't put an edge on it.
Right.
How long does that edge last going through that dressing that deer is the question.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, I get where you're going at, bud, because
Yeah.
I do the exact same market but not instead of EDC, I do camping and hunting because it's outdoors.
Yeah.
That's how it is here. But I can't compete with, so like I got a buddy up here that does almost strictly stock removal knives, and he sets up at all these local shops, and he'll sell a knife for 120 bucks. And I mean, like, and some of them are as cheap as 50, and he'll sell them all day long. And he asked me, he was like, "Hey Matt, why don't you set up here?" I was like, "Dude," and I didn't realize it was his product. I was like, "Man, some guy's got his stuff in there, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to compete with him because
I make sure I tell everybody, if I don't forge that knife, I make sure they know it's stock removal.
well, yeah, he does too.
I 100% do not try to hand forged knife. No, it's a handmade knife.
Yeah, well, that's what he markets his as, is a handmade knife. And he's not hoodooing anybody. But the problem, and he makes a quality product. I'm not gonna say anything negative about it.
Yeah.
It's just I can't compete with that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the price differences in general is hard to compete versus stock removal versus hand forged.
Oh, 100%.
yeah, I mean most of my knives, are anywhere from $200 to $300. And those are my average 3 to 5 inch blades.
Yeah, my
And
average
that's mono
is
steel.
my average is literally everything starts at one. All my knives start at 150, and that's for a blacksmith style knife, and it goes up from there.
Well, so now I will, like, if I make a knife out of coil spring, like a blacksmith knife, I will, like, when I go to the market, I sell them for $60 with a sheath. Because I can knock them out on my press real easy, so like, it's worth it for me to do it that way. But,
Yeah.
If I were to hand forge the entire thing out, that would just, I'd have to charge the 50 or 150 for it. But
Yeah.
no, I mean like just in general, like the knife market's not cheap, and I
And
mean
it's
there's a
very
lot of work that
competitive.
goes into it. Well, so and that's the nice thing around here is like we've got a lot of knife makers, but I don't think any of us are really competitive with each other. Like I obviously I made a comment saying I can't compete with him on his prices or anything,
Well,
but
I'm not talking like market to market. I'm talking in general. For example, you go to your state's blade show, and
yeah,
you're competing with all these other guys that are out there making knives or the big companies, and you might get lucky of having like at least 100 people stop by your booth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I try to tell people too. Is like when they go, oh, $125. I go, I pull out my one pocket knife and go, this was $100, and it's a Kershaw. Uh,
but
the
the
bottle's worn off.
Kershaws are nice though.
Oh, they are, but it's $100 pocket knife
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's mass
well,
produced. This one says China.
right.
yeah.
Like I got a buddy. Me and him work together for USDA. He's a soil scientist. Um, you know, he's a very intelligent man, but he's country. So like, and those two don't typically go hand in hand. So it's
Unless
kind
you're
of,
going to the moon.
huh?
Unless you're going to the moon.
Right. But no, like for real, the dude is just like, he's he's a laid back, chill individual, but he's like super smart. It's just insane. Anyways, me and him got talking about metallurgy. He's a big knife head, right?
Yeah.
And he's got like three different companies that he really likes. Spyderco's definitely one of them. I can't remember the other two, but every time they come out with a new blade design or whatever, he asks me. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about this or that?" They make it in this new steel or that new steel, and I I might not know what that steel is, but 2 seconds looking it up, and I can tell you what it is, what it does, what the chemical analysis is, all that stuff. But and me and him would sit and talk about that for days. But even those Spyderco knives, you're spending $200 and $300 sometimes on a little
Yeah.
pocket knife.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
you're
and
mainly
that's not
paying
handmade.
no, and with those large price tag mass produced blades, what you're mainly paying for is all the designing work and also the logo.
Yep.
Well, at the end of the day, yeah, no, at the end of the day, because of how everything works for them, you're literally just paying for for the logo.
And the
Just like
design
John
work.
Deere.
I,
Well,
I
the
hate to say
design
it,
work
but
after
the design
after a
work
while
does tie
it's
into it because of the fact that they go through all this time with engineers to design up a unique looking blade that's functional, but yet they
yeah,
seem to forget most blade designs derived from the basic point styles, which
right.
Yeah.
and everything intertwines in between those point styles.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like my old man. Oh, a few years ago, he went down to, was it Smoky Mountain, the big
Oh
store?
yeah, Gatlinburg.
Yeah, he went down there. Him
Mm-hmm.
and my mother were vacationing. They were down there, and he stopped in
Yeah.
there, and he brought me back a Benchmade catalog,
Yeah.
and I flipped through it. And one of their fixed blades, I'm like, oh, I like that. I make a
Mm-hmm.
variation of it. Of course, you can't patent the blade because,
Yeah.
and I did not. I mean, I didn't copy it. I made a variation of it because I liked it.
Right. Of course.
So it's like,
Yeah, like my little campers, they're a variation of an old Spyderco blade that they discontinued, and it was a very popular blade for camping and hunting.
Yeah.
yeah, just kind of like the charade old timer. Was it is it sharp finger
I don't know about that
Ladyfinger.
one.
or whatever? It's like a extremely. I make
Yeah,
a
you're
ton.
thinking of the ladyfinger.
Could be. People love it.
Yeah. See, and like for me, because I've made a lot of knives over the last few years, and I've sold very few of the ones that I've just made out of my shop, just like in my free time, right?
Yeah.
Um, all the I do better just doing custom orders. I was telling Jeff this earlier. I like that's the reason why I almost strictly just do custom orders anymore, because I feel like when I make something, it just sits in the shop or in storage for 2-3 years before I just end up giving it away.
Oh,
Yeah.
I give a lot of blades away.
Yes, I don't give a lot of blades away because I don't make that many nowadays. Just due to the fact that it takes a lot of time and space in my shop to make them
Yeah,
versus just making general purpose stuff like
right.
little home decor, keychains, stuff like that I know will sell
Hmm.
quick at markets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, so like it's gotten to the point where I've got like 4 or 5 buckets full of forged, ground, and heat treated blades just sitting in my shop waiting for handling. So I just started
Boy,
like,
if you only knew somebody who did nice quality wood handles, handle scales.
well, so I've started like sending them out to different creators like blacksmiths, bladesmiths that are like willing to do like collaborations and
Yep.
stuff like that. So it's just like it's getting it off my plate, and if we could raise money for something or just even make money between ourselves, like and split the profits. However, like
I
that
know
takes a lot of
that was a shameless little pitch, but if you DM me or PM, if you send me a
I
message on here with your address,
yeah.
I'll send you a box of sample scales because I
Well,
do two
I
stabilized scales.
have I have handle material. I'm so when it
Overwhelmed.
comes to, well, not just overwhelmed. I've got so many custom orders, and that sounds like like I've got a lot. What I don't. But for the amount of time I have a lot of custom orders that I need to fill. So I don't have time to work on those little um,
Side projects.
those other, yeah. So I've just started sending them out to other blacksmiths and bladesmiths just to finish them for me, to see if we could do like a collaborative work on it. If we could raise some money for a nonprofit, or just make some money between the
Well,
two
hear
of
me
us, kind of
out.
thing.
Hear me out with with our Onlysmiths group. We should actually do that, but raise money to help somebody get like a better belt grinder or something like that.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I'm sending. I've sent um, Stone Yeti, uh, or 3 knives. And then I'm getting ready to send Bear Canyon Forge 4 knives and a hammer, and he's gonna finish up those 4 knives. And I don't know what he's planning on doing with those. Me and him discussed on doing raising money for like a good cause, and he was like, "Dude, what you're saving money to get that heat treat oven? Why don't we just put it towards that?" I was like, "Man, you need to get something out of it too." So I don't know. Glenn's a
Like,
great dude. I just don't want to take advantage of him.
yeah,
He I,
that or we can do like a massive project where we all chip in material wise. Like, I have a decent sized chunk of high grade wrought iron.
yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of wrought as well. I mean, like I got some really dirty wrought iron.
Well, I got
Um,
high grade wrought iron that I've already tried etching it and it barely etches because of the fact that it's so refined.
right. Well, and that's what I'm saying is the stuff that I have is really dirty and it etches beautifully.
Yeah. But no, like for like good example, high grade wrought iron is great for knife spine because of the fact that it's going to be a lot stronger if you forge it with the grain in mind.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I just I like doing laminated billets with wrought iron. It's just, oh my god, it's beautiful.
Yeah, but like
Ah,
we each pitch in material for a big, like for example, a big ass buoy.
mm-hmm.
There's enough of us there that to pitch in and also get work done on it,
Yeah, yeah,
where we all can make a little bit of a buck.
yeah. Job, are you in the Onlysmiths group that we
Yeah, he
got
is.
going on? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah, he's an Onlysmiths.
Okay.
Like,
I still say we got to do that calendar though.
Yeah, that'd be a wild time.
It'll be funny as hell.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm gonna be building my my new forge soon.
What
And I'm
kind?
not gonna be
Solid fuel or gas?
no gas. Me and you talked about it a little bit.
I know. I'm just
Uh,
picking your brain.
oh, yeah. No, I'm just gonna end up doing. I wanted to do brick all the way around it, but it just doesn't seem like that's gonna be the most economic
Oh,
and
your
space
best thing
conscious.
is honestly your best thing is what I told you, which is the fire layers.
No, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted to do brick all the way around, and then do the wool, and then the board. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to economically and space wise do that. Um,
Then do fireboard, blanket, fireboard. You'll be surprised.
yeah. Well, I mean, but again, that's 3 inches of material.
No, you can get
Um,
quarter-inch thick fireboard that would only take about in total inch and a half of space.
yeah. Well, I already bought inch fireboard.
Oh,
I got 6 feet of it.
you got 6 feet. Okay. How thick is your
Yeah,
fire blanket?
1 inch.
1 inch.
Yeah.
Um, weld in anchors to hook into the fire blanket, and then just sandwich the fireboard in there,
Yeah. Well,
and then coat it
what
with
I,
Satanite. You'll be fine.
yeah, yeah. I mean, what I was gonna do was I was gonna get um 1/4 inch plate uh that's 12 inches wide. I guess it's really flat bar, really in those dimensions, but I was just gonna get a 20-foot section of that and build my forge out of that.
Build a box.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
Um, if you're gonna do a box, I can send you pictures of mine.
yeah.
you're
I still
sending
gotta
pictures of
plumb it
your
up
back.
and finish refractoring it, but it's basically literally 2 cubic square foot empty, and then when it's filled,
Yeah.
it's a one cubic square foot.
Yeah. So the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna line the bottom with fire brick, and then do the wool insul board. The insul board being on the inside of the forge cavity, um, like the walls.
Oh yeah,
And I was just gonna take mizu and coat everything really well. Um, that was kind of the direction I was going to go with that. So the inside dimensions would be because I would do this, the top would be kind of separate from the bottom. I wouldn't weld that together. I'd have it on like a hinge. Um, and so I could have the fire brick just sitting there. Anyways,
I don't mean to interrupt, but I gotta get going. Peace.
all right, love you, bye.
Wait,
Peace.
All right, well that works. Anyways, Joe, what's going on? What new projects you got lined up? Got a couple
oh,
things going on.
I got a couple knife orders and Nothing serious.
I
Pretty
gotcha.
getting ready for winter.
Yeah.
I'm actually,
Yeah. I've
not that
got
I want the summer to be gone, but it's finally getting cool enough so I can fire up the forge again because
right.
I don't do good in the heat. And this summer it was like pushing 90s up here, and
Yeah.
that kills me.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, I mean, even here down in West Virginia, it's been like that, and it's been uncomfortable. I mean, when I have usually 4 hours designated a day on the weekends to work in the shop, but going out there like 10 o'clock, I can't get out there, but maybe 2 hours some days.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I can get quite a bit done in that time frame, just forging, but still, I mean, it's tough. I don't know.
No, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Gorham, or how do you pronounce? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Anyways,
Oh, Graham.
oh yeah, let me take my freaking safety glasses off. I was working earlier, still have my safety glasses on, and they're about can't see through.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to try forging in Oklahoma. That's too much. I like the mountains of West Virginia. Quite content here.
Like last night, it got down to 43 degrees, and it was like, oh yes, perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I know. It's like, and when that cold air hits your lungs with like that fall smell, it's just like so refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it like the on the cooler mornings, it's starting to actually smell like fall here, which is quite lovely.
Yep. Oh yeah, our leaves are
So
they're just starting to turn.
yeah, some of our oaks and poplars are dropping their leaves a little bit right now, and um, you know they're a little on the crunchy side, but it's still, we still got a lot of green going on up here, or well, down here, I guess, compared to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I want to get the forge fired up and do a bunch of work, but also trying to get ready for snow was like,
uh-huh. Oh, I get it.
and of course I'm a true Vermonter as far as like the 1st of June hits and I go, oh crap, I got to get ready for winter,
Right.
and then wait till September, October to actually start getting ready, putting up firewood and whatnot.
Yeah. When I was when I lived in Kentucky and we didn't have central heat and air in the house, I mean, it was honestly like after spring was right when we started, focusing on getting firewood for the winter and getting all that stuff taken care of.
Yeah.
We had two fireplaces in the house and a wood stove, um, and a lot of fans to try to circulate that heat.
Yep.
I'll tell you, man, a wood stove is some really dry heat.
Oh,
Um,
I only run wood and out in my shop,
I got you.
but or for heat.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't beat it.
No,
Like
no.
growing up, we had 2 wood stoves in our house, and
Mm-hmm.
I can remember, like, growing up, as I'm a little kid at that point, like about 10 o'clock at night, my old man would fill the stoves.
Yeah.
He'd get up at 4 a.m. and by that time the fires had gone out,
Yeah.
so he'd start new fires. But we'd get up at 6, and all there's me and I got four siblings, so all five of us wrapped up in a blanket around the stove.
Yeah.
Because talking at sometimes 20 below. I mean,
Right.
not all the time, but
I know what you mean.
so we'd be all huddled around the wood stove for a little bit, warming up, and then once the house got warm, we do our thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I miss those days. My wife, she grew up in the city, so she never really got to experience any of that. But like the house I grew up in, um, it didn't get running water until 2002. So we were
Yeah.
using the outhouse, and if we wanted to take a bath, we'd go down to the creek and take a bath in the swimming hole. And now during the winter time, we'd go fetch a bucket of water out of the creek and throw it on the wood stove, and you know take a sponge bath.
Yep.
Um, those were good times, man. Honestly,
Oh, the best. The best.
I mean, my uncle lived just across the creek from us. Um, and if I wanted to take a hot shower, his house had, running water and all that stuff and washing machines and whatnot. So we could have used all that, but I mean, it. I, I didn't want to.
Yep.
I didn't have the. I mean, now don't get me wrong. During the hottest of the summer, when the wasps and the spiders are building nests in the outhouse, it was a welcome thing to be able to go use the porcelain.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't. It's not bad, and we had a hand dug well that today would probably sit about 250 years old. I mean, it's old, and that was the best drinking water. We'd go and fetch a pail in the morning, and that'd be our drinking water for coffee and breakfast and tea or whatever. And then come right before dinner, we'd go in and fetch another gallon or two, and that would be good for the rest of the evening.
Yep.
um,
I was saying, uh, uh, good friend of mine, he sells Christmas trees down in New York City.
yeah.
I help. I've gone down there once to deliver trees,
Hmm.
and we went down in 3 U-Hauls full of Christmas trees, dropped the trees off. We dropped 2 trucks off and came back with one. And we're riding back, and we're talking. It's like, man, how many of those people do you think have never left the city?
Oh, I'd say probably a good 70,
All right, I got
80% of
invited
them.
to
Oh, probably.
live.
Everything they need is within 2 blocks of them.
Job, you there?
Yep.
I don't know what's going on.
You hear me?
Can now.
Okay.
I
Sorry
don't
about
know
that.
what happened.
No, there was just a lot of noise in my house. Sorry about that.
But yeah, it's disgusting down there.
Oh, I
New
know.
York City. Oh,
So when I was in New Jersey, that's where I worked. Was worked in New York City, working for Homeland Security, and man, that was a nasty place.
it's just I couldn't fathom living there.
Living
No,
where? In New York?
New York City.
Oh, I used to visit there all the time back when I lived in Jersey City.
Yeah, nah. To hell with Hoboken and Jersey City, man.
Oh, Hoboken. Oh, no, not Hoboken. I
Listen,
avoided Hoboken quite often.
yeah, no, listen, that place. I spent 2.5 years right south of the Raritan River, and I had friends up in Hoboken and Jersey City, and I went and visited them one time, and I told them if they ever wanted to see me, they could jump on the train. Uh, my house was only like, or my apartment was only like 3 minute walk from the train station, they could just do that. I'm not driving 45 minutes to pick their ass up again.
What you talking about? The trade or the light rail?
Well, Amtrak went right through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the Amtrak would go up to well, I mean, he'd have to get off at Penn Station, New Jersey, on the light rail, and then get on the Amtrak. But I mean, that wouldn't be but a couple bucks.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was cheap. It was probably like $5, $3 for a ticket.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even today, I don't think it's very much. I mean, like it's a lot more than that. But I think from my house to or my apartment to Jersey City was only like $15, and that was a round ticket.
Yeah, I haven't been back
Anyways,
to Jersey in years since I got out of
yeah,
there.
yeah. I don't plan on going back. I say that, but I know a lot of guys over at New Jersey Steel Baron, and if they get their classes set up because they're looking to start a school up there, um, and they said they'd want me to come in and teach a couple classes from time to time. So I guess I would go up for that, but that's about it.
That's pretty cool. How
But
you
yeah,
guys doing this
Joe,
evening?
I I'm good. I just got the babies asleep, so I'm super.
Is it Job or Job?
Job,
Job. All right.
like the Bible.
Yep. I do kind of miss the days of babies, but don't miss the days of babies.
I get what you're saying, man. It's a
I mean,
blessing.
my youngest is 13 now.
Oh, okay. Man, hear you talk. You like the way you're talking. You sound like you're in your 60s.
I'm 45.
Oh, you're a young buck. All right.
Wow, I'm 45 going on 80.
Well, see, that's my problem. I'm 35, going on 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 38
Well,
years old, and I'll tell you what, with my spine the way it is, I feel like I'm 80.
yeah. But no, Joe, the way you were talking about, the with the fireplaces or the wood burning stoves where you're growing up and stuff like that. So that, I mean, and I get it. It's different, like up in Vermont than it is in a lot of places. But you just don't hear a lot of people talking about that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like the old timers do, but and it's funny because I mean, hell, I'm 10 years younger than you, and I'm hearing guys or people when I talk about my experience, they're like, "How old are you?" And they're like, "The way you're talking, you should be 60 years old."
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, I'm also very old school, as in, I don't know how to email.
Oh well.
The
I Yeah,
first degree's here.
Hey, first
yeah.
degree!
I invited him. Hopefully he jumps on.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He's a sexy beast, is what he is.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that one hat he wears once in a while.
Oh, yeah,
That knitted
the
or
big
whatever.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crocheted or. Love it though.
That's-
Love it.
in the bed. Gotcha. Yeah, that he was looking good in pink. I'll tell you that.
Wow. His TikToks are always a lot of fun to watch. I love watching his stuff.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get.
No.
you don't.
No.
It's awesome, though. He keeps it fresh. Like, I'm
Yeah.
the whole social media thing.
No, the only reason I have this app is because my 13-year-old back, I don't know, probably pushing 3 years ago now, downloaded it on my phone because she was playing. I was out working in the shop and she was playing on the phone because she was bored. And her older sisters had TikTok, so she downloaded it on my phone. I didn't even know.
Gotcha.
So it's just one of those. Yep. I found it one day. I'm like, what's this? Popped on it. And oddly enough, one of the first things that pops up was a Bladesmith.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. A couple years later, I'm addicted to this stupid app.
Well, and that's kind of my thing too. I mean, my kids didn't, put it on my phone, but I was, I've been doing the social media thing like on Facebook, and Facebook's tied to Instagram, so my posts were going across, and I was doing okay. But I have to say, like the blacksmithing community on TikTok is just so much better because we communicate, we collaborate, we cut up, we have a good time, and we have educated conversations, or just even BSing like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
You know, it it feels like the other apps are a little too uptight, and they're not. People just aren't they're here. And you can control what shows up on your feed for the most part.
What's up,
Um,
Misfit?
I
Misfits
also,
on?
there was a new app thing that opened up called Open Range,
Oh,
like strictly
what's that?
hunting, fishing, outdoor stuff.
Oh, okay.
You guys might want to check it out because I mean, it's all about hunting and fishing and outdoors. So I posted a few videos on there. Haven't got any sales from it, but there again, I haven't really worked it that hard. But Open Range,
Yeah.
you guys might want to check it out. I mean,
Yeah, I'll have to do that
I'll
then.
probably check that out too. But like, I agree and disagree with Davidson on the whole TikTok and people willing to share information. Because like, I had this app before and I deleted it. It was kind of one of those scrolling things just for something to fill
Yeah.
time. And back when I had my old account, like, I would try to talk to some of the blacksmiths and stuff to learn more about it because it's always been a dream of mine to be a bladesmith. And this was before I even started. And a lot of the bladesmiths, especially that I would
all right,
run
Josh,
into.
we'll catch you later.
Oh, take it easy, first
Night,
degree.
sweet dreams, brother. Love you, bye.
A lot of the bladesmiths and stuff, like lives that I would go into or commenting on videos and stuff, asking questions, they wouldn't share a lot of information. Like the first time I had it, there was a lot of gatekeeping I ran into, but like now it's a lot different. Like, a lot of people are willing to share information and willing to chit chat, like you were saying. So I kind of agree and disagree. Like, I still think it's half and half on that one.
So I how do I put it? I think it all depends on the community and that you start getting involved with. Because like for example, um, you know, when you like with this app, with the way the algorithm has kind of proved itself to me, once you make friends with one type of person, or you like the content of one particular type of thing, it starts showing you this spider web of that particular type of information, right? So if you end up becoming friends with one good dude, and that one good dude has friends with other good dudes, then you get that spider effect there. But if you come in right off the bat and you're like, oh well, I like the content of this, but the dude's a complete total asshole, or you like his product but you don't like his content or whatever, or his attitude for that matter, then you start getting the shitheads, right? So I think this time around, with the way you set it up, is you got in with the right crowd, and it's the spider web effect with that. Um, I mean, and it's like that anywhere you go, but I think really shows really well how that works here on TikTok specifically. Um, but it's a lot different here than other platforms though, because other platforms, there's just so much craziness, and you have so many people um, who just they're all in it for themselves, not for the content or whatever.
Well, that or their way is the only way.
Right, exactly. So I don't think we've gotten to that type of community here on TikTok within our community, right? And I say our community because the majority of us have a lot of the same friends. Like, I about guarantee I've got at least 5 or 6 matching friends that either one of you have, if not more than that.
Oh, probably more.
So that kind of goes into that kind of theory, string theory, spiderweb theory that I just mentioned, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Like, and that's something I'm liking about this time around my experience on TikTok, because I got back
Yeah.
into it because my little brother, like I told you last
Right.
time, my little brother, he wanted me to get on the social media. He named the forge, all that, and he thought
Yeah.
it'd be great considering my situation to help me network and,
Right.
when I get to the point that I start selling knives and stuff, that it would be good for me to, have yours. And like, I ran into Brown Time, Big Iron, you,
Mm.
and a lot of you guys have been just awesome. Y'all have been amazing with like the information everybody's willing to share, and the different techniques that, hey, look, trial and error with this, but you could also try this. And it's
Right.
been amazing this time around.
Yeah.
Another really knowledgeable man on here is the Razor
Oh, that guy
Razorsmith.
is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a nutcase. He's
Oh,
he's
yeah.
good with Norse. What is it? Norse Iron Forge or something. And I
North
mean
Fork.
nutcase in a good way. Yeah, Norse Forge.
Yeah.
I met him about 3 years ago in North Carolina at Big Blue. We were doing a iron smelting demonstration for him. Great guys. I want to be clear. Like, and I don't know that they even remember meeting me, but I remember meeting with them and talking with them for a little bit. And they even asked me if I wanted to start doing, social media with them. And at that time, I wasn't like getting involved with social media. I had TikTok, but I wasn't really using it. You know, and I was with a different group too. Um, but yeah, really great guys, nutcases,
Oh, yeah.
in the good way. They really they know how to have fun for sure.
And I don't necessarily agree 100% with everything the Razor does. He has more
Well,
experience
no,
than I do, but we don't have to agree on everything.
absolutely. Oh, I agree with you.
I mean,
That
yeah,
what works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for another.
exactly. So it's like,
Now, there are certain things that are tried and true. But those are just general technique and stuff like that. Like, good rule of thumb is don't put your thumb on the spot of the hammer. Set your anvil up between wrist height and knuckle height. You know,
yep.
because if you
And I mean, yeah, I mean, there's so much, what I'm getting into the metallurgy and
yeah.
the setup of your shop. I mean, there's so much that, yeah.
Ask Jameson about my shop.
You know, my shoulder, my right shoulder, my dominant shoulder, I've already had surgery on it once, and it's
Yeah.
not what I hoped it was going to be after the surgery,
Yeah.
but it's better than it was.
Yeah.
So I don't, and that's some of the reason I don't do a ton of forging. I do stock removal.
But see, here's the thing, you know, and I have this argument with people all the time, and for some reason they don't seem to wrap their heads around it. At the end of the day, if me and you took the same steel, right? Let's say just 1084, just for simple reference. I took 1084 and I forged a knife out and went through the grinding process, the heat treating, etc. Right? And the whole fit finish. If me and you had the same exact fit and finish, you know the difference between my knife versus yours? Aside from the fact that you ground it out and I forged it?
Time.
Well, no, I'm talking about the physical item.
Oh.
At the end of the day, if the fit and finish is the same and the heat treat's the same, there's not a single difference metallurgically between the two of them.
Yeah.
If anything, that hand-forged knife has more potential stressors and potential failures in it than your stock removal knife.
Yep.
Now this isn't me bashing bladesmithing because I'm a bladesmith. I'm just saying, like, people want to shit on stock removal, but stock removal is the safer way to go.
Oh, I did a video, probably 2 years ago now, because there was with the smithing group, there were a few that were hardcore, have to forge.
Yeah, you always come across them.
And I did a video. I'm like, guys, I got some bad news. I found out today. Apparently, I'm a vegan.
Oh no!
I do 95% stock removal. And actually, it stirred up a lot, and I did it for fun.
Right.
You know what? At the end of the day, you do you, I do me. I don't care. I'm not going to bash on your style, anything you do. I don't care. I don't care what you do.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it's a matter of personal preference. Like me, for instance, like even with my bad back and all that, stock removal would probably be the better option for me working on stuff. But at the same time, my personal preference is just listening to that anvil ring.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, and I completely understand that, and I get that. But still, at the end of the day, you know, one, it's a marketing thing. A hand-forged knife costs more only because it takes more time to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's strictly it. And honestly, if you got a halfway decent bladesmith, it might be even faster to hand-forge the knife than it would be to grind it out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, yeah, okay, you're putting a little more effort into it. But me, I can forge it as long as my forge is hot enough, which that's not an issue, to be clear. But as long as my forge is hot enough, I could take a piece of steel and forge it into a knife in a matter of 15 minutes to shape.
Yep. All right, show off.
No, that's not me showing off. I'm
joking, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, it don't take much to forge a knife out, and I don't understand why people, like, for people who are new, that's a different conversation, but for people who've been at it for a long time, I don't see why they're freaking out about it. Like, it doesn't take very long to forge a knife out. It's not that big of a deal. No. But if it's going to be better metallurgically or easier on the person who's making the knife, for whatever their situation is, right? Some people might not have a forge, they might not have an anvil, or they might have the forge but not an anvil,
Yep.
and they just got the grinder. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, they're being creative, they're working with their hands, and they're doing something productive. That right there needs to be celebrated.
Yep. Exactly.
I agree with that, and I also understand the other side of that, which is like a lot of people feel like, because I've seen a bunch of videos on it too. Like a bunch of people feel like actual, hammer forging stuff out is like a dying art form.
Here's the thing. Sure, yeah, it's dying art form, whatever. But realistically, what it is it is what people are referring to today as toxic masculinity and ignorance. I'm sorry, but that's what it ends up falling into. Because if anybody took the time to just look at the science and understand the process, they would be more wanting a ground knife or over a hand forged knife, just because of the potential for failures. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, can I throw another wrench in the conversation?
Sure, absolutely.
Your thoughts on hidden tang versus full tang? Because I have seen
I think it's
videos
preference.
I have seen
What is it?
hidden tang versus full tang.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen videos where smiths were saying that a hidden tang is just as strong as a full tang. I'm talking mono steel. I'm not talking. I'm just. To me, if you have a full tang, you have a full 8-inch, I'll say, bar of steel. Where if you go hidden tang, you have, an inch and a half wide blade, neck down to, half inch. To me, a full tang is going to be a stronger knife.
So in theory, it is, but I've seen the tests on it, and it comes down to two things, right? Obviously, heat treat and fit and finish.
Yep. When it comes to fit and finish, I personally I love hidden tang. You can do so much more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
See, Misfit's got a good point with that question he's asking in the chat though. Like it also depends on the application of the knife, doesn't it?
No. So what he's referring to is just straight up stress testing, like which is going to be stronger. There's no like intended purpose. It's like forged and fire testing, is what he's referring to, right, Job?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with like if you're doing stress tests on a hidden tang versus full tang, I don't know. I personally, in my brain, I think full tang's gonna win.
So, and I can tell you, from the stress tests that I have seen, what's the handle material made out of? Two, how's the fit and finish on that? Are there hard corners, like 90 degrees, or have those corners been rounded over, around the tank? There's a lot of variables that can go into that. But that being said, if it's done right, emphasis on done right, there's no difference as far as a stress test is concerned. But if you just had somebody just throw something together, Yeah, the full tank is obviously going to hold up better. Um, but if you have two very talented smiths make one of each and stress test them, I I think it's up in the air, and I think both of them would perform just as well as the other.
And I will agree and disagree in the simple fact of, in my simple brain, a full tang, you have more steel. And
Oh, listen,
that is
I
the end of my argument. In my simple brain, you have more steel.
listen. I don't disagree with that. Like I said, theoretically and practically, that you're 100% correct. It's just like I said, it just depends on the stress test. Because and you know, I mean, like shit happens too, right? So I mean, like a fluke in the process can easily make um the full tank fail. But
Oh yeah,
here's the thing: it's not gonna fail at the tang; it's gonna fail on the blade. Whereas
and I will agree with you there.
the 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 potential for failure on a hidden tang is going to be the entire structure. It could be anywhere within that entire structure.
Yeah, and with a hidden tang, more than likely, it's going to be at the
The tang itself, yeah.
yeah. But yes, again, there's so many. If and I'll back you up on this. If a knife's being used properly, it's not going to fail.
No, no.
If
I mean, and
if you're
that's the
using it for a
thing.
pry bar, well,
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I was that guy at one point in time. I would use the knife for a pry bar. In my defense, I was in a panic.
No, we've all
oh,
been
we got
there.
a
We've all
mechanic in
done
here.
that.
Oh, yeah, well, you know what I mean.
No,
If a knife's being used properly, a hidden tang or a full tang, there's no difference.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, you know, if you're using it for its intended purpose, you know, you're fine. You know, like I just had this conversation with Robbie. Uh, I always pronounce his last name wrong. Sinkvale. Sinkvale. Anyways,
Yeah,
from
I know you
Sinkvale
got.
Forge. Yeah, Robbie's a great dude. He's a really talented smith. He makes really nice kitchen knives.
Hey,
I get
Kimmy.
on from all the huh.
Oh, I said, hey, Kimmy.
Oh,
Yeah, Mama Bear
oh,
was
I
getting
see.
live.
Gotcha. But you know, like he asked me about his heat treat. You know, on one of his things, on one of his knives, because he said one of his mentors was giving him a hard time about it. He asked me to look back at it. So I looked at the video and I was like, yeah, it looks like you were a little too hot. But here's the problem, right? Cameras always mess up the color and the light from the piece of steel.
Yep.
So when it looks too hot, it might not even be hot enough. So you know, but when he pulled the blade out and he wiped it off, you could see I never the Martin site and Austin site. I always pronounce them wrong, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You could see that the
Welcome to the
blade was
live, Bro
properly
Hunter.
hardened. So you know, seeing that it was properly hardened, I was like, dude, it's gonna work just fine. Like, you know, temper it and just go on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And I have a lot of people ask me, you know, Matt, what's more important? Should I just get a thermocouple for my forge so I can do heat treats, or should I just buy a heat treat oven? Like, what's your priority, man? I mean, like, you can do well if you can control the temperature in your forge, you know, like down to what you need. You can do a good enough heat treat out of your forge if
Well,
you know what your temperatures are.
And I'll go back to this part of it is they've been making steel weapons for how long?
Well, but here's the argument with that, right? Metallurgy is a lot different
Oh,
today than what it was.
100%. Yeah, I'll agree with you there. But what I'm saying though is, even like I go, like I've told this at the Bladesmith a couple times. They were making works of art, 200 years. I'll say 200 years ago. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
not that long ago.
works
Yeah,
of art
right.
with files and hammers.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
today we have all the technology in the world.
Yep.
So, and you know, I mean, I love smithing so much just because it's so. It's not even today. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But
No, you have to hate yourself a little bit to do this.
Yeah, exactly. But to think back on what they were, I mean, look at go back to some of the samurai swords or Japan. I mean,
Yeah.
that they were, what 1,500 years ago.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's much longer than that, though.
No, but let's call it 1,000 years.
Yeah.
1,000 years ago, they're making these masterpieces.
Yeah.
They didn't have sandpaper.
Right. Well, so they were using different pastes. They were using abrasive compounds and stones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing, though, and this isn't to discredit, um, ancient sword makers.
No.
But this comment's gonna probably piss off a lot of people. I'll be honest. And the quality of steel from bloom or hearth remelt is not even comparable to what is made today in modern times. Even the Tamahagane, that is not even comparable. I have had discussion with Japanese metallurgists and swordsmiths and museum curators, and they will even say that. And the only reason why the law is the way it is over in Japan right now is because the quality of material is not comparable, so they can make how do I put it? The only way you can have a sword over there is if it was made traditionally. Like, that's the only way you can have a Japanese, like a katana over there, right?
Oh, I'll agree with you 100%. I mean, the steel are crazy.
And I'm not saying that it's junk, but in comparison to, there's a lot of junk in it, right?
Yeah.
And so the quality of the material wasn't as high. Now, the quality of the finished product, to be clear, was very good, but if you were to compare it to like our mono steels today, it's not even comparable. But and I hate saying that, right? Because I'm not trying to disrespect, but you have a lot of people out there that put Japanese swordsmiths and bladesmiths up on a pedestal, and as artists, absolutely I agree. But as far as like the mythology and stuff behind it, like there's a lot of ignorance and myths and false information. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, kind of where I'm going, where I was kind of going with it. Like, you take, and I do not mean any disrespect, his work is amazing. You take Kyle Royer, his work, oh my word, crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the work 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, 200 years ago is comparable to his, but as far as fit and finish,
Mm-hmm.
but they were doing so much, so beautifully, so long ago with nothing.
Oh no, yes, 100% I agree, and
You know,
and
that's
that should, in my opinion, give people a reason not to have an excuse if they want to do something, especially in this area of interest. They have no excuse not to do it because there's been people who did a lot more with a lot less.
yeah.
See, like this whole conversation, like I've just been listening, and like the main thing that comes to my mind outside of just the Japanese sword would be like with like as far as metallurgy and stuff is the Oostburg steel.
Are you referring to Woots?
Yeah, the Woots metal for the
Yeah.
Oostburg.
Yeah, so that's a different conversation, and I don't think anybody's ready for that. Because I could go into it for days and days and days.
And I've watched a lot of Juggernaut's videos.
Yeah,
Oh my word.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That man,
right.
he's insane when it comes to roots and the. And I don't mind. Like with him,
So-
he's one of those. He won't give his
Gatekeeping.
his recipes.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, I don't blame him.
Well, okay, so here's the thing with that though. There's so much information out there, but so like because I'm part of that community a little bit. Yes. There's a lot of gatekeeping, but you know the reason why there's so much gatekeeping with that because because the I don't know, several hundred people that are actually in that community that are actively making it or trying to make it, the amount of work that they had to put into it to even get something, and so like they feel like they'll give bits and pieces, right? They'll give you clues and they'll tell you, hey, you might want to look here, you might want to look there, but they're not going to give you the whole picture, right? It's because they work so hard for it, and they feel like it's a rite of passage that you work for it. You know what I mean? Like,
And I kind of agree with that. I mean, if and again, this is I mean, we're talking we're bouncing all over the place, but
yes,
Yeah.
about gatekeeping and we love to share information, but yet if I've spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours to figure something out, I don't know if I exactly want to run out there and just blast it to the whole world so they can do it in $500 in 2 hours. Yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean,
right. Oh, yes. Yeah, no,
like,
I get it.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with like Juggernaut not giving his recipe. Actually, no. I guess I will lean more towards I am agreeing with him.
But see, here's the thing. I about guarantee, and I've not talked to the fella, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other. But I can about guarantee it, if you had a conversation with him about it, like an actual educated conversation about your process and the work that you've done with it, and you can be like, hey, can you tell me if I'm hot or cold? I'll about guarantee he'll tell you tips. He'll give you
I know
pointers.
he would.
You know what I mean?
At least, yeah. I mean, if I contacted Durgan. I was like, "Hey, I'm trying this. What do you this is my setup. What do you think?" He'd go, "Nope, do this, do that, change this," and he
Bourbon,
probably would
thank you
help
for the
with the
likes,
recipe.
bourbon.
Right. I mean, and see, like that's the thing about that community, and that's what I've run across myself, is that exact situation. I mean, like they are gatekeeping to an extent because they're not telling you right off the bat how to do everything. But if you're getting close, or you're having issues, and like you got your process down pretty good, they're gonna make suggestions and give you help along the way to make sure you are successful. But they
Yep.
don't want you to just be like, hey, how do I do this so I can cheat? Because like it's what it is. It's cheating. When majority of the people have put hundreds of hours worth of research and development and thousands of dollars of investment into creating their furnace and making
Just
sure
just
that it
for
can reach the right temperatures and be able
just for
to get the
me to come
right
along and go,
sources.
"Oh, thanks," and do it
Right.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
I agree and disagree with you guys on that one. Like, I can see your point, but at the same time, like, I mean, like, it's comparable to the whole, Smiths who are more about the science and Smiths who are more about the feel and trial and error. Like you were talking about a little bit ago, how, oh, if you got a way to control your heat and a way to monitor your heat, it doesn't matter if you have an oven or you're doing it out the forge. Like me, I don't even have a way to control my heat. Like, for me, like this whole year, that's why I took me to finish my first knife. It was all really just trial and error and just getting a feel for what's happening. So,
right.
like, you have like a lot of people who are into the metallurgy and the science of it, and then you got people like me who run around here and just go, you know what? I just love the roar of the fire, the ringing of the anvil. I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
Right. But see, there's the thing though, right? There's a a skill or level difference there too. And you're not really gonna be interested in woots except for just like the the kind of like mystery of it, right? You're not gonna be like, oh well, I'm gonna go in and make some because you've never experienced working with like odd steels like that, or just that particular kind of process. So it's different for you and your experience versus like for me, somebody who has been like I've made my own steel, and I've made my own cast iron, I've made my own wrought iron. And what I mean by made, I built the furnace with mud and clay and stuff, and I smelted the iron down with charcoal that I broke down, and like I went through that whole process just to make steel, and iron and cast iron. When you put that kind of effort into something, it means a lot different to you than it does to somebody who's just like, oh yeah, no, I just like to heat things up and hit them, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just two different, you know, um, how do I put it? It's just two different backgrounds, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
So, and they mean different.
yeah. And see, like that's where it gets a little complex, though, don't you think?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, all right, so like I've seen YouTube videos and all that of people doing step by steps on how to build furnaces, how to smelt down steel, things like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
No,
Now,
we got bourbon and blacksmithing in here.
yep. Bourbon was dropping us some likes earlier.
Oh, I just every once in a while glance down at the messages.
Yeah, I try to keep up with the chat too.
Yeah,
But
Bourbon's great, man. He's a great dude.
yeah, like I mean, like you see those videos on like YouTube and stuff, going over every step by step on how to build the furnace, set everything up, run it
Right.
down all the way down to where you get the finished product.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have like those people who put up those videos sat there, did all this work to figure it out and go through the trial, go through the error.
But see, all of that information is readily available. Right? So that's the big difference. Is all that information is right there in your face and it's available. So there's nothing really limiting you from doing it except for just taking your time to do it. Because there's tons of books and resources out there to do that. For Woots, for example, there is nothing. There
Boots
is
like a
there is
mystery.
information. I mean, there is information, but the problem is it is bits and pieces all over the place, and so you have to. It's a game of hide and seek, if you will, on the internet, and the internet's a very big thing if you're not aware of that. So.
I try to stay off it, so I'm not.
Right, but on top of that, right, you have to have a lot of understanding and background in chemistry and metallurgy and understand the processes in which why what works with what and how that process works, right? Not everybody understands that or appreciates that or even cares for that matter. So it's kind of almost a religious thing in its own right. And I know that sounds kind of odd, but just from being in that community a little bit and talking with people who make it, and I have made several Woots pucks, but unfortunately the materials that I used was high in sulfur. We had them analyzed. They were a little too high in sulfur, so they weren't forgeable. And so, now I'm not with that group of people anymore working on this project. So now I have to figure out how to source these materials now without having that group associated with my name for me to be able to start this project back up.
Yeah.
But the knowledge, the information is all still there. But
And like for me, I mean, I love I love Juggernaut's videos on Woots. I love the thought of it. But personally, for me, and this is all just me,
yeah.
I like buying my steel from New Jersey Steel Baron
Yes.
and making blades.
Yeah.
I do like the simplicity of it. I'm not. I love talking steel. I love it all.
Right.
But also, in my defense, my life is too busy to be.
Well, here's the
I'm
thing.
not going to say the word plain because no, but to be experimenting around with, stuff like that.
Hey Joe, can I stop you for a second, brother?
Yeah.
You don't need to defend yourself. The thing is, do you have an interest in it, or do you even care enough about it? And that kind of thing. If you don't, that's your that's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to defend yourself. If you like the simplicity of just buying your steel from Steel Baron, that's great. That doesn't make you any less of a bladesmith or a knife maker or a blacksmith or whatever. Like, I understand, like, a lot of people are like, oh well, you gotta make your own steel and you gotta do. listen, I do that because I enjoy doing that, not because that's what makes me a bladesmith or whatever. You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
would,
Like,
I would love to make my own steel. I just don't have time,
no,
and so,
and I
and so
get that
I don't
too.
dig into it. I
Right.
mean,
I mean,
I'll take all the knowledge I can get.
right.
I'm like a magic sponge. I take all the
Yeah.
knowledge in, and then it disappears. But
Like,
no, I understand what you're saying. I'm not maybe defending myself was the wrong phrase or whatever, but I just I would love to make roots. I would love to make my own steel. I would love it. I don't have time.
well, and there's nothing wrong with that either. You know, I mean, we all have our lives, and we all walk a different path, and you know, we do the best we can with what we have, and you know, sometimes people get lost in that too, right? Not in the that we're doing the best we can, but the fact that you know they have too high expectations for themselves, or they want, you know, how do I put it? My dad always told me growing up, wanting one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up faster, right?
You,
And so like to me, I've just lived my life in the I'm doing the best I can with what I have. I have been blessed and very fortunate that I have had the opportunities presented to be able to do a wide array of things that most blacksmiths and bladesmiths will never ever do. You know, and I'm not saying that in oh I'm better than anybody situation. I'm just saying I was very blessed and fortunate to have those opportunities come across my plate when they
yeah.
did.
Oh no, and I'm glad you did. I honestly, I'm happy for you. I do not. I don't know. I'm a weird person. I literally am happy for you. I hope you can start making roots and sell it at a reasonable price. I hope you
Well, I don't
can.
know that I would ever sell products out of roots so much as just one of those haha look what I made, you know, and
Yeah.
just put it up on the wall kind of thing.
Well, and you know what? Again, I'm cool with that. I don't. You do you. I'm going to do
Right.
me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I try to support people.
Right. And that's I'm the same way, man. And you know, you know, I think that that's what we need to do as a community. And honestly, from my experience as within the blacksmithing, bladesmithing community as a whole, obviously you have your arrogant and gatekeepers and whatever else. I'll keep the profanity down to a minimal, but you know, you have the negative Nancy's, right? But as a
Oh,
general whole, I feel like the blacksmithing and bladesmithing community is very supportive and very wholesome in its own right.
well, and again, I'm going to jump subjects a little bit, but like the
Okay.
ABS
Yeah.
or ABS,
Yeah, you're right.
American Blacksmith. Yeah,
Society, yeah.
screw that. In my opinion, screw that.
So,
Now, and if either you are working towards it, I'm happy for you. I'm glad for you. More power to you. I just don't like the fact of some, my peers or my, who judge me and tell me if I'm good enough. You know what tells me if I'm good enough is my buddy who I gave a knife, and he comes back and goes, "Wow, that thing was awesome."
right. So this is what I'm gonna say about ABS and Abana, right? because Abandon now has their level 3 certs, or their 3-level certs. I think they might even have a 4th one. But either way, it is a tool to use for accreditation when accreditation is needed.
Yep. Oh, no, I agree.
For example, right? And I y'all are probably sick of hearing me say this. Where I teach veteran classes, and a predominant, the majority of the blacksmithing, bladesmithing classes that I teach tend to be bladesmithing for veterans. I don't charge a penny for them or anything like that. But, and my hope is to one day have, but my hope is to have a bladesmithing, blacksmithing school here in southern West Virginia. And so being able to have those accreditations gives me that validity to have people more encouraged to come see me.
Dude, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%.
In that right there, to me, that's what it's worth. As far as the judgment of my peers and stuff like that, honestly, it means nothing to me. And some people are going to crucify me for it, and I don't know if that's going to affect me potentially ever moving up in the ABS. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's a tool for me to use as a validation for my future.
Exactly, and use it. I don't have problems with people who are in it and use it and this and that. I don't need, personally, I don't need you. I know you're not yet, but when you become a master smith, I don't need you looking at my work going, because of the fact that, and I've experienced this in my professional career as a logger.
Right.
I send a load of logs in the morning. You get there first thing in the morning to the log yard.
Yeah.
And if that guy had a bad morning with his wife, you know what? It reflects on that load of logs.
Oh, absolutely. No, I understand.
If he had a great morning with his wife, it reflects on that load of logs.
Right.
So, I'm saying if you were a judge, if you were judging the guy judging my work, and you woke up and your wife was nagging at you, and you're in a bad mood, guess what?
I get what you're saying, and I understand, and I'm not gonna say you're wrong in any way, shape, or form. But I can tell you personally, the only judging that I would do if I got my master bladesmith is just for the journeyman level stuff.
Yeah.
And that would just be to be able to provide those the journeyman tests for free, or I don't know how much. I don't know what the ABS charges, but I wouldn't charge to do the test out of my shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
Right. Oh, no. I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I get it. Like I said, and that's why I said, that my comment might, affect my potential future. I don't know. But,
and again, if it does, that's BS, because it should be 100% professional. But there is always the human side of things.
Exactly.
And I've emotional.
Yes, I have a lot of friends that were in the ABS at one point, and they are very talented smiths. So many of them held their masters at one point or another. They're no longer affiliated with the ABS because of the nonsense that went with it.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and I get it. And they're constantly saying, Matt, they're just a good old boys club. You don't need to get involved with that.
Yeah, but
And I
you get
understand.
that accreditation, and wow,
Right. Like, and I'm not looking to use that
it's huge.
accreditation. Right. So I'm not looking to use that accreditation to sell my knives for more, or any of that stuff, because that's what some of these guys do that get their master smith, right? They're just like, oh, well, I'm a master smith now. I can charge 3 times more for this knife. That's
Yeah,
that's not my goal.
yeah,
Literally, I just want to use it to be able to validate my skills, to be able to encourage more veterans to be like, hey, this dude knows what he's doing. I want him to teach me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no,
and
exactly.
and and with the school, it's gonna be 100% free for vets. You know what I mean? Like, and then if I can get enough support and be able to afford things, expand it out to first responders and law enforcement. That's my goal. That's my hope. That's my dream.
And I'll tell you straight up right now, if you want or need handle scales for your school, you let me know.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Well, I'm
I love how my iPad and my phone screen is in between you guys because I really feel like the middleman when it comes to some of these opinions. Like y'all were just talking about the ABS. Like, Davidson wants it for his school. Joe isn't really concerned about it. Me, I just look at it as like a personal thing. Like the only reason why I would go and do the whole having my work judged at some point for any recognition from the ABS is just as a personal challenge to myself, just to
oh
be
and,
able to say I made it.
yeah,
Everybody's motivation is different.
and I appreciate that too. I mean that if you want to go for it, go for it.
Yeah.
I highly, I'll be honest, I would highly recommend anybody go for it. I'm not going to.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Just on personal, I'm not scared of failure. I failed my whole life. What's another failure?
right.
And I'm not scared of
Right.
that. It's the I just
Yeah,
don't care.
everybody's
Yeah.
different, and
No.
like that's the
Yeah.
cool part about this community. Like that's what I love about this community. Like everybody, even though we are all so different, even though we all have such differing opinions on things, like you don't care, Davidson wants it for the accreditation for his school, and then there's like you got people like me who just it's a personal challenge. Like that's what I love about this community. Like it's
And
just
dude,
amazing.
I hope the both of you go for it and get it. I really do. I hope you guys go for it and get it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Um,
Yeah. I
see, like,
don't know. It's one of those things. I've been in the ABS for 3 years now. I need to start getting some stuff together and actually make my make my. I think it's 2 knives, and for uh, the testing and everything, and kind of go from there.
and again, if I don't have anything ready right now, but you want some, and again, I'll put this up. I don't have any crazy handle material ready, but I got some pretty. I'm not gonna. This is not dirty. I have some pretty good wood.
No, I believe you, man. And
Oh,
so do you stabilize it or?
yep, yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I
And
will definitely, because I'm getting sick of this
And
whole
obviously,
Etsy thing, buying stabilized woods. So anytime, because like I here lately I've only been buying like naturally stabilized woods, like the high oils and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I often come across people like, well, I really want a maple handle, or I really want, black walnut or something like that. And, they're pretty, but the problem with them is they're very soft unless stabilized, and they're really quick to absorb a lot of moisture unless stabilized.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and even with oak, I've had several people say, hey, I want oak or hickory. I'm like, man, now I gotta go buy stabilized handles because, you know,
Yeah.
and and I don't mind paying the price for stabilized wood, but like, the problem is, you have to go to all these different Etsy dealers because nobody has, like, it's a one-stop shop. But, no, for real. I mean, anytime I need wood, man, I'll definitely holler at you. No, I'm not playing. For
Thank you,
real, I
Misfit.
will.
I got a little shout out.
Yeah,
What
Misfit
is it?
shouting you out in the chat.
What is it?
Misfit in the chat.
I sent Misfit some wood
Oh,
for some scales.
I'm the
I
child
see.
live. I see how it is. All right, guys. Thanks.
No, I get talking too much and I'm looking away from my phone. Um,
Oh, you're good,
but
bud.
but yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't know. There's just Etsy's. I'm getting sick of Etsy. I'm getting ready to close my Etsy shop.
So Misfit knows me. We talked quite a bit.
Yeah,
I'm the town fire chief, town constable,
yeah.
town animal control officer, medically retired military. So I'm a disabled combat vet.
Well, thank you for your service.
I enjoyed it, so I appreciate it.
How long were you in the service for?
14 years.
14.
Yeah. All right. Army National Guard. So I wasn't a full timer, but
No, hey, look,
I deployed to Afghanistan.
yeah.
So
Look, I was 7.5 years National Guard. Well, it was 6 years National Guard and a year and a half Army Reserves. So
yep.
I got out for like 6 months, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna complete my IRR active reserves. So that's what I did.
Yep.
But no, I never got deployed. I had orders to go several times, but to go to Afghanistan, and they got cut like a month before I was supposed to start moving out. So
I don't think there's any gentlemen in here.
what is it?
In the comments, there ain't no gentleman in here.
Oh,
I mean, I have been a perfect gentleman in this whole life.
Robbie, what's good, homie?
But yeah, I'm all about giving and helping.
Yeah.
If you end up doing classes for veterans, I'll send you scales.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of. Well, I won't say a lot, but I usually do about a dozen or so a year. And then I put on a veterans blacksmithing hammer in.
Yep.
Here in southern West Virginia in the spring. And we usually get upwards of 30 to 40 guys come out to that.
Right.
So it's really nice to be able to do that and help the men and women in the community. I say the community, but I mean, heck, that they come from as as far north as Rhode Island and as far south as South Carolina.
Yep. Yep.
So that's not really exactly my community, but hey, I'm helping a vet. That's all that matters, you know.
Oh,
And
I'm all about helping groups that help vets. I mean, I am
yeah,
one, but
right.
I I'll send you scales. I do whatever I can. I don't care.
Well, I
I'm
appreciate
not
it,
about
brother.
me. I'm about others.
Yeah, yeah,
Poor Sink wants to hang out with us, but he can't because he's at work. It's messed up. It's all good, man. We still show you love, Sink.
I mean, you can still get on and bullshit and talk with us, man. It's not like you got to go video up. I don't have the videos on. It's just like a phone call.
I don't know. Back when I was able to work, you wouldn't be able to hear me if I'd have tried this.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
All right, go.
My daughter is fighting sleep right now, so
Oh yeah, I got a little one over here. He's hanging out, eating some pizza.
yeah. Well, mine just turned a year old yesterday, so
I know this little guy over here. He's 4.
hold on, baby. I'll get you a fruit pouch, okay? Just give me a second. I'll be right back. Don't start crying. It's okay. I'll be right back. She's just hungry. Oh, I'll tell you, man, these fruit pouches are an absolute blessing.
Yeah, they come in.
Yeah.
Oh, his boss follows him. Sink, I'm out of Texas. Job is MIA at the moment. He'll be back in a minute, though.
He's Vermont.
I'm
if I remember
back.
correctly.
I'm up in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out in Texas. Tell everybody I got here as fast as I could.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would too if I lived in Jersey.
You know what the funniest thing is? When I moved to Texas and I told people I was from New Jersey, everybody said the same thing. They just looked me square in the face and said, "Oh, bless your heart."
So it's funny because, and we got the people on here aren't gonna get offended, but when I worked out of New York, I had to go to training in New Jersey with a couple I'm sorry, not New Jersey, in Georgia, with a couple coworkers. And one of them rode with me down, and we stopped at my aunt's house in North Carolina. So we met with my aunt and a family friend of mine, and she's just this tiny little black Jewish woman, very, very southern too, which is kind of a mouthful if you really think about it. Anyways, she asked my coworker, she said, have you heard the saying, bless your heart? He said, yeah. She was like, well, what do you think it means? He said, go fuck yourself.
I've come to learn after a couple of years in Texas that it actually has multiple meanings.
Well, yes. She rolled when he said that, because he didn't tell her to go fuck herself, but he was telling her that that's what it meant to him when he heard it. She goes, oh, bless your heart. He just chuckled. And this boy's from Long Island.
That's awesome.
Oh. Oh, well, I don't get it. Miss Daisy was Jewish, yes. Oh.
North Georgia, North Carolina. Oh man, Miss Daisy, driving Miss Daisy. Oh man, no. See, I really got to start doing this more often, and like I really want to get into the whole live aspect of this social media stuff because I love doing this. Like just hanging out, chit chatting, cutting up with everybody.
Well, that's
It's a
what
good
I
time.
use it for. That's all I use it for is just cutting up and having good conversation with folks.
I've never gone live. I've gone on other people's lives, but I personally have never gone live.
Yeah.
I went
Like,
live one time, and yeah, that quickly got restricted.
Oh. Yeah, no, I do these pretty often. Not the chat ones, but I usually set up. I mean, I did a live earlier today too. But I usually do them while I'm working out of the shop, so I can just have conversation with folks. To be honest, because working in the shop by yourself, it gets a little lonely from time to time. But yeah, I mean, it's just nice being able to have that company. So that's why I set them up when I'm working.
Yeah, I get that. I do that sometimes when I'm playing video games and stuff. I'll go live on Twitch or something.
Right. So.
Oh my goodness. Saints belt exploded.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. And
Who?
you. Honest
Okay.
opinion. I don't care your response. 100%.
Okay.
So there is a Smith on here who was I would say former Marine, because I know ex-Marine or
Yeah.
Marines are unique.
Right.
He's a blacksmith. I still follow him because I don't know how to unfollow people.
I can show you how to do that, or tell you how to do that.
But he 100% disabled veteran who never deployed because he rolled his ankle in training. What are your
Wait, what?
100% disabled because he rolled his ankle in training.
Like basic
Never
combat
deployed.
training?
Not even combat. He wasn't even.
No. I'm talking about basic training.
No. He made it through basic, and then was just doing everyday training. Rolled his ankle and is getting 100%.
Well, I mean, so.
No, you don't. You don't have to answer. It's a tough. Yeah, it's kind of a loaded question, but like
it is, because like here's the thing. Like now, if it happened during training, like basic training or AIT, right? I don't think that would. I don't. I couldn't wrap my head around that. They should. They should just like. He shouldn't even get veteran status if he hasn't even completed training. But if he'd been in the service outside of basic training and AIT, I mean, it is owed to him. But I mean, like, how do I put it?
I'm pretty sure he is from North Carolina. I'm answering questions in the comments.
From North Carolina?
I just have a serious issue with. I believe people. Yes, you got hurt doing your job. He's getting 100%. I'm not bragging. Anything.
So I mean, here's the thing about VA benefits, though, right? I mean, I have a hard time understanding how he would get that 100% disability. You know, off of, you said a rolled ankle.
Yeah.
See, there's something else going on that we're just not aware of.
Well, it very well could be. But what I know.
I mean, like, right. I mean, and man, that's a really tough one, because, you know, I could say something and I would be absolutely wrong. But this is what I'm going to say, right? I feel like if you are a service member, whichever branch it may be,
Yep.
and you have done your time and you were injured in the line of duty, whether it be deployed or even here, stateside, or, you know, in Germany or wherever,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I do believe the U.S. government has a obligation to take care of you if it was on the U.S. government's, if it was the U.S. government's fault.
Yeah. If it was on their time, it's on their dime.
Right.
I agree.
Deployed or not, you know, me being a guardsman and a reservist, I'm ineligible for any sort of VA benefits, with the exception of like VA home loan, until I reach, I think it's 60 or something like that. Because I've never been deployed and I don't have more than the 180 days consecutive active. So, you know, that being said, you know, I was injured in the line of duty stateside. You know, I really messed my back up. Severe muscle tear and pull.
100%. If you're injured on their time, it's their dime. I believe that 100%. Right. But 100%.
See, and that's the thing is, you know, I have family and friends that work at the VA. That's not possible. There's something else that we just aren't aware of. And he might just be like, oh yeah, I broke my leg and so now I'm 100% disabled. He might be preaching that BS, but that's not what's going on.
And that could be. And yes, you know who I'm talking about down in the comments. Well, like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm not bragging. I'm not churching myself up. Nothing. I've been blown up.
Right.
I've been shot at countless times.
Mm-hmm.
I lost, and I know losing the buddies. Well, it does play into it. I lost two of my best friends.
Yeah, dude, it's painful and it's hard, and you know, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I bet you're battling with the VA for any sort of benefits right now. Even being retired.
I'm not doing bad. I'm at 80% disabled. Right.
But, you know, I'll tell you what was funny, and I don't mean funny, haha. Funny,
no. I'm military. I understand the
my dad, he retired active army, 21 years. Um, he when he got out, he should have been right off the bat 100%. Um, they put him at like 30 or 40. Um, and he sat on that percentage for I think 5 or 6 years before he admitted to having PTSD.
Yeah.
Then once he was rated for his PTSD, it shot him up to 80%. And then he just floated there. But what's crazy is, if you take all the percentages, and I know that's not how this works.
Yeah.
But if you took all the percentages of my dad's compensation, um, it was like, and you added it all together, he was like at like 400%, 500%.
Oh yeah.
Like it's stupid.
I'm at 130% disabled, but in their math, I'm paid for 80%.
Right.
Now
Well,
I'm not knocking it because I am still an able body person.
right. But
To an
so
extent.
that doesn't matter, right? The fact of the matter is, um, you whether you're able-bodied or not, there's a, a an extent of damage that has happened to your body that makes you incapable of doing specific tasks or very specific things, and it limits your ability to just live life the way you otherwise would have had you not went through those situations.
Yeah.
And you need to be compensated for that. Um, but and my mom worked for the VA, and my understanding of the way they do the ratings is, so each individual area has its own individual rating,
Yep.
and they only take the highest rating of every one of those things.
Yeah.
So let's say your knees are bad and completely blown out. Well, that's what you're getting your 100% on, because there's absolutely everything wrong with your knees. But your deteriorated discs in your back and your bulging discs, are at 70%. Oh well, you don't need to walk, you don't need to move, you don't need to live a comfortable life. We don't care about that. Like that, it's so outrageous.
Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to go off on a rant or nothing, but I'm just
No.
and again, that's why I said, if you're doing these veteran classes, let me know. I'll send handle scales down to you. Handle scales, blocks, whatever. I'm all about supporting and helping.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Because I can.
I do. Right.
But
yeah,
it's just,
I mean, and I try to do the same thing. Like I don't have a whole lot of money to give to people, but I do have the means to make something and give that to compensate. You know what I mean?
And like, I honestly, I don't care. Like, you never deployed. That does not bother me a bit. I don't care.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
It really does.
It bothers me though, to be honest.
well, because you joined because you wanted to. In a way, in a sick, twisted kind of way, you wanted to.
Well, so, and I'm not a war chaser. I want to be clear on that. But the reason why I picked the unit I picked at the time I picked was because, they had just got back from Afghanistan like a year before I had enlisted, and I was told when I enlisted, oh, they're going back to Afghanistan pretty much like 3 months after I get out of AIT. So like in January. they were getting deployed back out. And when I got out of AIT, I got those orders. But when I made all the arrangements to leave for the year, a month out from leaving or mobbing, they canceled my orders. They did that to me 4 different times, man. And like for me,
Oh,
it wasn't chasing
and
the
there's
lure.
some PTSD right there.
Yeah,
Honestly, you're getting geared up in your brain to go, and then oh no, oh gear up, oh no.
yeah. I mean, it's tough, but I mean, it is what it is. But
I did war chase.
you did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Like
was.
I
I joined in '07,
yeah,
knowing because I had 2 brother-in-laws in the National Guard, and they're like, "Yeah,
yeah.
we're deploying."
Right.
2010 we're deploying. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I had a couple buddies that were in the National Guard, and they're like, "Yep, we're going."
Yeah.
The worst part is like my at the time my closest buddy. He's like, "Dude, we're going. Let's do this." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He was already in, so I joined, and then just I don't know, several months before we deployed, he took a recruiter job, so he's non-employable. And because he was going to be in my company, he outranked me. I didn't care. I was older than him, but whatever. Because when I deployed, I was 27 when I deployed in 2010.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or no, I was 30 when I deployed in 2010. But I always wanted to do it, but when I turned 18, talked to recruiter, I was making bank logging. I'm like, I can't give this up. So I put it off. 2007 comes along, logging up here is, wood prices are slow. I'm like, screw it. I'll join.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joined knowing we are deploying. I mean, it wasn't
right.
So I kind of did war chase.
Yeah, I mean, I did, but I didn't. I didn't do it for the war specifically, but I did it because I knew that my goal was to be a federal employee.
Yep.
And I knew that it was going to open a lot more opportunities for me to be able to hold that veteran status. Unfortunately,
I'm not knocking you for it, dude.
Right.
Take advantage. If it's out there, take it.
Right. But unfortunately, on the Fed side, because I never deployed and I never spent 180 days consecutive in active duty outside of training, I'm not classified as a veteran.
See, there again, that
as far as
that kind of goes back to the BS.
Benefits, yeah, as far as employment benefits are concerned, I'm not a veteran. I have my DD-214, so yes, I am a veteran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
and that's why I always put in, I'm a combat vet.
Right.
I was 11 Bravo. So I say, hey, I'm a combat vet. Just I'm not. I don't know you. I'm not trying to trump you.
Right.
In any means, but I throw that out there as I'm a combat vet. What are you? No. Kind of thing. I mean, not. I'm not putting you down at all.
No, I get it. 100%. I understand. I mean, like I said, I come from a background of veterans. Every generation, my family has been in the United States. on both sides, there's always been somebody in the service. Um, and it might not be like directly my great great grandfather, but like his brother. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I I understand what you're saying, and I get where you're coming from. Um, you know, and I kind of wanted that, as that badge, especially with my dad being a combat vet, and being around, um, the VFW and the American Legion and the DAV, and seeing that brotherhood, that camaraderie, that um, and it's funny because all those old timers, man, they treated me like I was, you know, and it was kind of weird because you know, if there was a guardsman come in, they gave them a hard time. But even me being a guardsman, they treated me different.
Yep.
And I don't know, I really don't know why. Honestly, I don't. But, you know, I guess it's because they knew, well, of course they knew me too, but, they knew uh, I enlisted with the understanding that I was getting deployed right out of training. So
Yeah.
I was more than willing to do that, and they gave me such a hard time when I was like, well, I'm just a guardsman, I've never been deployed. They're like, look, but Matt, you signed that contract knowing you were gonna be getting deployed,
Yeah.
and that they're like, that right there speaks a lot for itself. So
Well, it does. It's like my buddy who he was the one who really, really, really pushed me into joining.
yeah,
A few months later, takes a recruiter job, so he's undeployable
yeah,
or undeployable.
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's
Yeah.
like, dude, we were going to be in the same company. He would have been my boss,
Right.
and then when actually shit hits the fan, he goes, "Yeah, I'm out." He's never deployed. He was active Marine, never deployed. He switched, or he got out, came up here to college. That's where we met. I never went to college, but there was a college in my small family.
I gotcha.
We met there, became good friends, and then, I deployed. He doesn't, and honestly, I don't know where he is now. I haven't talked to him in years because you can't back your story of wanting to deploy. Let's go. We'll do this and that, and then just before we deploy, he goes, "Oh yeah, I took this job as a recruiter, so I can't deploy." It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And even my going away party, he came to it, whatever, and of course we were getting drunk.
Yeah.
I called him an undeployable bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just one of those, like, we were you undeployable.
Yeah.
Because of the way he talked up, we're going to do this, Yeah. And then last minute he bailed.
Right.
All right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take it down and go to bed. It was
All right,
fun
brother.
hanging
You
out
have a
and
good
chatting
night.
with you guys.
Hey,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
a great night, Hoss.
Yeah, you guys have a good one too, man. Y'all take it easy.
You too, brother. All right. Bye.
But
But yeah, I don't know, man. It was definitely something I wanted to do. But
And well, can I ask what your MOS was? If you give me the numbers, I'm not going to know it.
no, I was a truck driver.
Oh, 88 Mike.
Yeah, I was a mobile target. That's
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So I do know a few of the numbers, but
Yeah. Well, and I was in acting 92 golf for the majority of my time. So, cook.
yep.
So I did both. I was 88 Mike and acting 92 golf. And so I started on as KP, and then I used to cook a lot before I got into the guard, but um I just didn't. I don't know. Anyways, I fell in love with the kitchen staff, or the cooks, and I ended up just saying, "Hey, Top, I want to stay in here," and he let me stay there. I ended up
Yep.
getting awards for being best cook in battalion and brigade, and I never even.
I will tell you this from experience. In my
Yeah.
14 years, the cooks get more awards than anybody else. I swear.
I didn't.
Where?
No. I, I mean,
I'm
I
not. I'm
know
not
exactly what
knocking
you're
it.
saying.
I'm not knocking
No,
it.
no,
I
no.
mean, dude.
So I know exactly what you're saying. That didn't happen with us. Um, the I got an uh AAM Army Accommodation Medal.
Yep.
Um, and that was about the fanciest award I got. But I did get a coin, and I've got little certificates. Best in the battalion, or whatever, or
Yeah.
best in the brigade. Um, Sergeant Major pulled me up and was like, "I could see you being wearing this right here one day," and I'm thinking to myself, "No, jackass, I'm gonna be out in the next like 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be wearing that rank." But no, I don't know. I love cooking, and I loved the people I served with, but I mean, it was just a lot of bullshit, and it interfered with my life that I tried to have outside of work.
Yep.
Um, and I was engaged and married at the time, and trying to come up with time to go on uh, and do things on the weekends. It became very difficult.
Oh, dude. Every
Es-
weekend, every drill weekend, it seemed like there was something, a family event, a wedding.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, and it wasn't so the last three years I was in the guard. It wasn't just a 2 day weekend, or it wasn't just a 2 weeks out of the summer. I was looking at 20 to 26 days in the summer
Yep.
of
Oh, yeah.
AT.
1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a
And
year turns into. Uh,
th-
oh,
I mean, like, our weekends were anywhere from 3 to 5 days a lot of the time.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I said, the 6 years I was in the guard, I had orders to go 4 different times to Afghanistan. So we're pre-mobbing, getting everything prepped. The entire time I was in the guard, getting prepped to go to Afghanistan, that never come.
I don't know where in Afghanistan you were going, but like where I was, oh my word, it was beautiful.
Well, so
It really,
they were gonna have
that
us all over.
I was,
I'm
stationed on. I was literally like 3 miles off the Pakistan border,
Oh, okay.
and the mountainsides. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah. So my unit, we were an ammunition transportation unit.
Yep.
So we would just be just constantly. I mean, that's all we'd do is we'd go from one fob to the next.
Yeah.
And that would be our entire year.
Yeah.
Unless if the MPs pulled us for something that we would have had to do a joint ops kind of thing, but yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah. See, I was stationed on a cop,
Oh, okay.
which is essentially my company, and that's it. We did have a squad of artillery,
Right.
but man, oh my word, that place. You know what drove me nuts is being there. The country is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
If they would get their heads out of their asses,
Goats.
yep, goats, they can make so much money. No. They can make so much money on tourism. It was so beautiful.
Oh, for sure.
It
But
literally was so beautiful.
so and I have friends that are Muslim, and so I'm not trying to say anything that would potentially be offensive, but the reality is, you have extremist Muslim groups that don't play well with Christians or people of other faiths.
Yep.
And they are the ones that are the loudest, and they're the ones that cause the most trouble across the country. Again, I'm not saying that's all Muslims. They'll never, because it is a Muslim country though. Those groups are going to stay prevalent enough to where it's always going to be a detriment to their society, unfortunately.
Yep. I mean, and like where my cop was, I could look to the east,
Yeah.
and there was ruins. I guess that no other term, but ruins of
Yeah.
a fort from Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
When he tried to take over the country,
Yeah.
couldn't, because it's such. At least where I was, it was such rugged terrain.
Yeah.
They could dig in, and you couldn't find them.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the same way it is here in the mountainous parts of the United States. I mean,
Oh yeah.
The entire Appalachian Trail there, like that's a fort in itself. And then you've got the other mountain range that's on the west coast. I mean, there's a big bowl in the middle of the United States that's protected.
Yeah. And the only reason we were able to get over, I say we as in English, French, whatever, is because we had firepower.
Uh,
And diseases. Firepower and diseases.
here that people, you know, what is it? They said there was a gun hiding behind every blade of grass. Is essentially what they said.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a gross exaggeration, but it's pretty comical. I do find that comical.
I just. I love the fact that, like, in a way, love it. Afghanistan has never been taken. The people are so resilient. I mean, Russia tried it. Alexander the Great tried it. It's just one of those. It's such a unique country. That
What was it? I'm pretty sure it was like Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan are all three the same, right? In the same situation. They've never been taken over.
Yeah, pretty much. And which it's kind of cool. The other thing I find kind of funny is, like, back in the day, a couple hundred years ago, 300 years ago, the United States, which weren't the United States, we could have owned all of Canada, but it didn't.
It was French, if I remember right, at one point.
Yep. But
and then
we
it switched hands to England.
Yeah, but we decided, in a way, it's kind of funny. Like, they were, we're content with what we have, but they could have owned it all. I don't care.
You could have, bub.
It's the way it is, and that's that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a whole lot of who knows and whatnots out there.
And I'm Charlie Chase, inviting you to listen to the Cook and Chase Countdown, Sunday afternoons beginning at 2.
On Vermont Country, 93.9 WLVB.
It won't be long till the shadow jet works your nerves up to get a night. It won't be long till the parking lot kissed by your truck turns into a day. It won't be long till your buddies wonder where you've been.
Joe?
Yep.
What type of what ammo you got?
I have a Peter Wright.
Oh, nice. Misfit was asking what you working on. Anything cool?
No, just yellow birch. I posted a video earlier of it. It's some beautiful stuff. Like, really, really beautiful wood.
Yeah.
But no, I'm probably going to hop off here because
it's getting late.
Yeah, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I know Misfit's sitting on the West Coast, so it ain't that late for him.
Yeah, me and you's on the same time. It's
Yeah.
late. So, all right, brother. It was a pleasure talking with you. And
Hey,
listen, man, if you need anything, you holler at me. All right?
yeah, and thanks for letting me rant and rave. And
No, it's a pleasure.
seriously, if you get a veteran thing going, let me know. I will send scales your way. Then they're not going to be the craziest, most outrageous, awesome scales, but they're going to be stabilized, good scales.
That's the only thing that really matters, man. I'll be honest with you. Most of the guys and gals I have for these bladesmithing classes, they just want a regular wood. Typically like a black walnut or I guess like a wild black cherry here. Or beech or what's the others that they like? Hickory and oak. Simple stuff.
I mean,
But I don't like.
I don't have like southern hardwoods.
Yeah.
I'm all northern, like cherry, maple,
Yeah.
birch, yellow, well, mainly yellow birch. I don't like white birch. To me, white birch is a traction wood, which means you put it in your skid road to get traction on. But
Right. I've worked in the logging industry for a little while. I know what you mean.
But so I'll if you're doing that, I'll hook you up with stabilized scales or
I appreciate
blocks
it.
if need be. I'm all about helping and increasing this community.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And I'll send you the information for the veterans event that I'm putting on this spring. It's gonna be in April. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out or not, but I want to invite you either way. So
Yeah, 100%. I'll try. Depends on timing and everything else, but
yeah, I get it. Well, you have a good night, brother. Thank
yeah,
you.
we'll catch you later, Hoff.
All right, bye.